It's wonderful to be here with you, Rocky. Thank you for inviting me. Rocky, I've been a leadership advisor, a strategy coach for a number of years. Uh, my basic profession is that of a leadership coach, and I work with a lot of companies primarily across the world, though I'm based out of Bangalore in India. My actual business is to help organizations transform. And the transformation can be in any dimension. I mean, it could be transformational as an organizational concept, or perhaps at an individual level, or even for teams. And I've worked with companies that are, multinational, multicultural, and of course, a lot of Indian companies too. So the business that we run is starts from end to end. The leadership development process. I mean, we do assessment centers, we do evaluations of potential. We work as executive coaches. I have a team which supports me as coaches in the business, and we also do strategy facilitation for the senior leadership. Fundamentally, the whole approach is to take organization, to put it simply, from good to great. And that's the role of my business in summary. The organizations that I typically work with would be multinational. As you know, I am based in Bangalore, which is really a technology hub. And in a city like Bangalore, we do get a lot of organizations that have come here primarily to operate as offshoring centers. So keeping that in mind, my client base would be largely technological organizations like, to name a few, like say Cisco or Oracle, Qualcomm, and many others, maybe even Boeing, Air, and in the non-American organizations like Airbus and even sports goods companies, Decathlon, Pernod Ricard, and so on. I mean, there is a huge number of organizations, Robert Bosch. So I work with large corporates. I also work fairly extensively with individual organizations. I mean, companies who are smaller to mid-scale businesses, which are largely CEO driven. And I work with their top leadership to identify areas, support them in growing their businesses. And that actually covers a very broad spectrum, if I can say that. I mean, for me, largely my business is with the bigger corporations, but I do enjoy working with the small to mid-sized firms. The greatest satisfaction I get is when a team comes to me and says, I want your help in, creating the future. Transformation is such a big word. But within that, what appeals to me is when someone says, we are in the business of creating the future. And that is something that excites me enormously. In recent times, I have had the opportunity to work with two large organizations. One was an engineering firm, one of the largest in India, and another was a global apparel manufacturing company. And both of them were based out of where I live in Bangalore. And in both cases, it was my privilege to work very closely with the CEO, who was interested in growing the organization beyond the existing parameters. In fact, they were very keen to explore, business opportunities outside of their comfort zone. And that gives me a great buzz. When I worked with these firms, the advantage was I had the support of the CEO, and I could actually work individually with each one of the team members and support the team's growth in non-traditional areas. And I must say that we were very successful in one company where I was there from the beginning when they had a team of barely 35 to 40 people. In the course of 2 years that I worked with them, they grew to a team size of over 500 and extended their reach to at least 6 more countries in and around the region. So that kind of business opportunities, that kind of support that you get when you work with a CEO is absolutely exhilarating. And you feel deeply satisfied that you helped in creating a very high-performing organization. So I would look forward to having people connect with me, Rocky, and I can be accessed on my LinkedIn profile, which you're free to share, and my organizational website is www.isec.india.in. ISEC India is one word, ISEC, which stands for the Intrad School of Executive Coaching.in. I am accessible on my email, KK, which are my initials, at intrad, INTRAD, consult, CONSULT.com. Thank you so much, Rocky, for the invitation again. It was a pleasure chatting with you.